Hey, it's Bryce here from Money Coach Sites, and in this video tutorial I'm going to be going over the full site setup to walk through for option 2, the option 2 template off the Money Coach Sites website. So in case you're wondering which one that is, it's this one right here, and we're going to kind of go through and look at how to kind of customize everything that you see on it and make it your own. So let's go ahead and get back to the dashboard, which is what you'll first see when you log into your website for the first time. So the first thing you'll want to do is come in here, watch this getting started video, and book your 20-minute fast start video chat, which will be probably a time where you can kind of ask questions about how to do this, or did I do this right, or whatever it may be. And so what I suggest is that you schedule it a week out at least, so it gives you some time to kind of mess around with it and have good questions to ask on that day. And then watch the YouTube tutorials. That'll really help you out. Join the Facebook group, because in there you can get support and you can get feedback, and you can ask me anything that you want in there as well, and it'll be there for everybody else to see as well. So that's a really good place for you to be. Then when you are all set to go, first thing you want to do is come over here where it says site appearance and come to this customize tab. Okay, and then once you get in here, you can begin changing different aspects of this is where you can change kind of some of the presets, like your logo and your colors and stuff like that. And so it's not gonna let you change the stuff in the actual websites, in the actual website pages, but it's gonna help you change like stuff in the header and stuff. So let's start out here in layout and go to header site identity. This is where you can change your logo. Just go in here and push change logo, and it will tell you that the recommended dimensions are, let's see, what does it say? I think it's 180 by 60, and you can upload that file right here. Best to have a transparent background, of course. And then after you have uploaded your logo, here is where you can adjust its width. So as you can see, the bigger you go, the smaller you go, it'll adjust accordingly. And I'll put it back to kind of what I had it there. This is where you can change your site title. This is what you set it up as in the beginning, so you can change it to whatever you want. And if you don't have a logo and you don't want to get one for this, you can just remove this logo here and just leave it as is. Or if you wanted to, you could also display the site title in lieu of the logo, and it'll come on right here. And you can adjust the settings for that to be a different color. But I suggest if you don't have a logo, just to leave it blank. It'll look nicer. Here's where you can add a tagline, so maybe something catchy about your financial coaching website, like a slogan, or maybe just put the city where you're from, something like that. When you finish making changes, just push publish. Then come back to where it says transparent header. I just wanted to show you that this is a transparent header right now, so if you ever don't want it to be, then you have to come over here and check this box for it to turn into kind of more of a traditional header and everything. So, oops, wrong one. Okay, very good. Okay. The footer for this particular template is actually going to be controlled in what's called custom layouts. I'll show you that in a minute here. But traditionally, this is where you would edit stuff in the footer. So if you ever changed the footer, then this is where you'd come to. There's this scroll to top button that's down here. And if you change your colors, then you'll want to come in here and also change the icon color for this. So change it to whatever your colors are going to be, and change it on both of these. Okay, hit publish. Let's see here. Okay, then let's get over to colors and background. And this is where you start putting in your brand colors. So you could leave it gold if you want, it's kind of neutral. or you can go in and you can start setting your actual colors. So anywhere that it has the gold, you put your primary color. You could change the text color if you wanted to, and the link cover color. I'd probably recommend keeping those the same for the most part. And if you don't mind gold, then it's probably best to keep it the same too, because a lot of these icons are actually pictures, and so are photos, graphics, whatever you want to call it. So if you don't want them, you're gonna have to find replacements. But gold is a nice neutral color. Let's see. So in the header, we have a background color. This stuff should all be able to stay the same. Yeah, keep that stuff the same. Let's see, content. Most of that can stay the same. Yeah. Alrighty. And then if you want to change the typography, then you can come in here. Right now it's set to this font right here. But if you wanted to, you can go in and find a different Google font that you like. Just look up Google Fonts and it'll show you what's available, and you can see what's pretty and what's not. Just try to make sure that it's something that's easy to read, that people are not going to struggle with when they're on your website. Let's see. And again, you can go in here and change the different the different fonts for all sorts of stuff, like the heading up here, and you can change the different just go through these if you wanted to, but I recommend probably just leaving them the same. If anything, you could just change the base typography and these ones will inherit that. Okay, when you get to buttons, then you can go in here, and again, if you have a different brand color that you wanted to display, then you can go in and change the buttons, and just change wherever you see that gold. Okay. Now menus here, if you go to this menu, you'll see that the main menu is on here. So about, home, about, coaching, those are the same menu items that you see over here. You can reorder these as you would choose. You can, let's see, oops. I don't know what I just did there. Anyways, I don't think it's messing with anything. You can change the navigation label, so if you didn't want this to say home, you can make it say like start here or something, whatever you want. I'll leave it as home for now, but you can change that. You can reorder them. You can add new pages here, so if you go over here, you could put like a new page and you could just add it there, and as you'll see, it will just add on to the end here. And so there we have that. Let's see here. We shouldn't need this, no. Homepage settings. So this is this homepage setting is where you want people to land on when they just put in your domain. So if they put in moneycoachsites.com, if I didn't want them to land on the page that I have labeled home, then I can make a different one on my homepage. It's pretty simple. Okay, I think we're good on all of that. All right, so after you go through those site settings, then what you want to do is with this particular layout or this particular template, the footer is actually connected with a custom template. So you go in here to site appearance and go to custom layouts, and you're going to see one titled footer, and you just go edit with MCS Easy Builder. Wait for this page builder to load. It's a little bit slow. There's a getting started video on the page builder if you're not familiar with it, but it's pretty self-explanatory and you'll learn a lot just by watching this video. So here we are in the footer. So this is what's going to be at the bottom of practically every page. I think it actually is every page right now. And so if you want to change this background image, then all you need to do is click up here on this section, on the section tab, come over here to style, and then you can change that image right here. You can change it to whatever you want. So it'll just be a matter of clicking, and then you can look in your media library if you've uploaded photos already, or you can upload the files straight to it right here. Okay, then this text can just be edited just by simply clicking on this box here, and you just change the title to whatever you want. So let's talk or whatever, and then have a question. Let's talk. So you could change that stuff pretty easy there. Here we have what's called an image box. So on the left side you have this image here. So this is actually an image. So if you wanted to replace this, then you have to go and make something similar on your own. You can use a tool like Canva pretty easily. That's why if you use this template, I suggest kind of keeping the gold theme. It looks nice and it's pretty neutral, but if you do not want this image to be there at all, then just go ahead and delete the image, and you can do it that way too. So either replace the image or delete it, and the other stuff can be edited right in here. So put your phone number here and so forth. Let's see here. Then this book appointment button, you'll want to come in here and set a link to whatever you need it to be. So HTTPS, and then you can just put whatever it is, whatever your link is. Let's see. I think also you could just put like contact in here, and it'll pull up the contact me page. You can just click that, and it'll put the link in there for you. So that's kind of nice. Now you have these social icons. These are really easy to work with. You just click on it. You can fill in your Facebook link here, your Twitter link there, and so forth. If you don't have one of them, it's as simple as Xing it off. If you need to add another one, just press add item, go down this drop down, and you can look for whatever it may be. Twitter. So there you go. And then pretty simple. All right, and then when you're done with all of that, all you have to do is click update, and then those changes will go live. So what you'll see is as we're walking through all the different pages and the setup of them, you're going to find that this footer is going to exist on each page. So all the changes we just made will automatically go out throughout the website. Okay, so let's go back to our dashboard, and then what I want to do is visit the site. And then we're going to start editing these pages one by one. So you can navigate to whatever page you want to edit. So we're going to start with the home page. And then you're going to click Edit with MCS Easy Builder. That's another way to access the footer, I guess, is just by clicking on it up there. All right, and here we are at the website itself. So first things first, if you want to change this background image, then you go here to this section tab and come over to style, and right here on the background you can change it to a file of your liking, upload an image there, or you can choose one if you've already uploaded it. So that's what that will change. I should note that anytime you see duplicate content, so if you see like the same thing 2 times in a row, that means that one of them is optimized for desktop and one of them is optimized for mobile. So for instance, in this case, this top little section here, what's highlighted in the blue, is optimized for desktop. And the way you can tell is if you go to advanced and responsive, you'll see that it's hidden on mobile. And on this one, you will find that if you go to advanced and responsive, it's hidden on tablet and desktop. So this is the way that I help quickly mobile optimize websites, is by creating 2 versions of certain sections. A lot of sections are pretty easy to automatically be responsive, but sometimes I have to go in and try a little bit harder for it to come out good on the phone. And so that's one of the ways I do it. The thing that you need to understand when you're editing this is that if it's on top, if there's duplicate content, the top one is always going to be the one that I set to be desktop, and the bottom one here is always going to be the one that I set to be mobile. Now, the other thing you should know is that if there's any part of this template that you do not like, you can easily exit out and it'll delete it off of there for you. So all you have to do is click on that X and it'll take it off, or click on or right click on it and delete it and it'll take it off. And you can take off any part. You can take off this, you can take off this, you can take off whatever you want. You can make this 2 columns by deleting this. It's really up to you what you want to keep on this. And of course, you can always add new things into the website to your liking. So if you wanted to add, a heading on top of that photo, it's pretty easy. you just go in and customize it to your liking. Then if you didn't want it there, you just right click and delete. Okay, now let's get into this. So most of the text that you see on your website is just a matter of point, click, and change. So if you click on, anytime you see an element, so whether it be text, buttons, videos, images, whatever, you just click on this edit icon, this little pencil, and then over here on the left side, there will open up a panel where you can edit the content, you can edit the style, and you can also edit the spacing in the background and such, some more advanced settings. So here, if I wanted to change this to money can be, you know, hard or whatever. Money can be hard. I could change it right there, and I could also change the style. So you could change the typography, you could change the size, you can change the Google font family, so change it to whatever you want. It's really easy to change stuff. You can change the alignment. Let's see what else. With this particular one, there's an entrance animation. So if you notice when you log in, or sorry, when you load your website, it'll kind of scroll down. If you don't want that to be there, you could just exit it out right here on this entrance animation, or you could change it to whatever you want. So if you wanted it to kind of slide in from the right, then you can have it like that. Lots of cool stuff that you can do. But what I would say is don't overdo it, because it can really be distracting for people trying to access your website. Okay, and then same thing here. This is text. If you don't like the script there, then you can change it, delete it, edit the style. This is the script text that makes it that way. But if you wanted it to be something else, it's as easy as just clicking another text. So I'll go back to what I had. And so when there's mobile content, you'll have to edit it twice, unfortunately, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Again, edit the button, click on the button, change the link to whatever you want it to be. Let's see here. Okay, here, so this image is once again back here under the style tab. I'm not going to show you how to do every single thing on this tutorial, because once you learn it once, you'll know for all of it pretty much. So I'm going to try not to be too repetitive, but I'm going to try to show you what do I need to do if I want to edit this photo or that photo, you know. And so this photo right here actually is not part of the column. So if you went to the column and you tried to go to the style, it wouldn't be there. This is actually an image icon, or sorry, an image element. So you just click on this little thing right here, and you can come over here and change that photo to whatever you want. A title you can change easily. This text you can change easily. This is all over here, you know, really easy. This again is just a text icon. This is social icons, just like we talked about with the footer. It's the same deal here. Come in and edit those. This is where you could put in a testimonial. So, you know, testimonial in here. And then this gold box that you see here, that is actually part of, let's see here. Man, I'm going to have to search around for this for a second here. Shoot. I think it might be this one, but yeah. So if you go into this element, which is this text element, and you come over to advanced, and then you go down to background, then it's hidden in here is where that color is. So then you can change it from in there to whatever color you want it to be. So like I said, this is why I do these tutorials, is that sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find stuff, and I know that if you're not familiar with the website builder, then you could spend a long time just worrying about little tiny things like that. Okay, so again, this is just text. Edit it as you please. Here's more text. Again, for the text, you can go in and style it and change it to whatever color you want. Really easy. This bar you can change here with the color. These ones, once again, these are images. So if you have icons that you would rather use here, then you might need to go and use those images and upload them into your photos, into your photo library. But otherwise you can leave them how they are. Or the other thing that you could do here is you can take off the image here, delete that, and then you can go over here and add something called an icon and just add it right in here, and then you can choose an icon of your liking. So if you wanted it to be like money, then maybe you put a dollar sign right there, and then just change the style of it. I'd probably recommend doing this if you don't like those icons that they had on there already, that we had on there already. So I think that's a good workaround. If you do want to, again, use the images that are there already, or upload your own images, or just delete them off there and just add an icon. So pretty simple fix. Okay, here we have, you see this kind of parallax effects here. So that background is just over here in style. You can delete it and add whatever background you want. Or if you don't want there to be a background there, then just delete the background, and then you'll see that it'll just look like that. And then you can change the color of the background if you wanted to also. Buttons, we've kind of gone already over. You can change the styling of them, change the background to whatever you want. You can change the way they look, you can change their size, you can change the text, you can change the link. Everything's editable. Here we have a testimonial, so you would upload an image of the client, or maybe just leave it blank if you don't have one, and then you can just type in the testimonial right in here. Really easy. Then just write their name in there. This is just spacing stuff. You can just leave that alone. And this is, if you notice, when you are on this page, you won't be able to edit this when you get down this far, and that's because that's what we just edited as the footer. So when you're done making changes to a page, just click update, and then those changes will go live for your website. And then you can go back to the dashboard and you can go down over to the next page. If I refresh that, it would put the new page. It would put what changes we made, but I didn't refresh it. So if it looks similar to what we had at the beginning, that's why. Under the About tab now, and then we can go back to Edit with MCS Easy Builder. By now you're probably starting to get a good feel for how this is working and how to go in here and how easy it is really to just edit everything. Okay, so here's where this image is again. Click up here on this section tab and then go over to the style portion. And if you ever need to make like your images darker or something, you can go over here to this background overlay, and you can create a background, put like a black background, and it'll make it darker, an overlay. Or if you want to make it lighter, put a white overlay, or of course just leave it how it is normally. So that's a cool little trick. Helps with like being able to read text sometimes. Okay, so this says, hey, I'm, and then you put whatever your name is in here. So I'm Bryce, or hi, whatever you want. You can change those. These are just text. These are, again, those social icons, really easy to pick and choose and change. It has the parallax effect, but if you don't want it to have the parallax effect, then you just go into the section and you can go to that background, and right here where it says fixed, you just change it to scroll. So then it will scroll instead of being fixed to the page. So that's the difference there. That's the same process for all the background images usually. Okay, this is just a heading, title and description, so change this at will. This right here, this is like if you had a financial coaching designation or something. All this is you just need to upload an image of it into the media library or the photo library, and then you can use it to you can change it to whatever photo of your certificate you have. This here is an icon box, and so you can change the logo here if you wanted to, and you can change the number, and of course you don't have to have a logo if you don't want. Okay, this here is just a link, so if you wanted to, it's technically a button. If you wanted to, you could style that differently. but if you want to change the link, you just go in here and change the link to whatever it is that you're trying to get that to. Again, duplicate content, that's because it's for mobile. And same thing that we talked about earlier for the testimonial, same process. So here we have another background image, as you can see. So if you go over to the section right here in style, you can delete that. You can put a different image in there, whatever you want to do. Real easy. This bar, you can change the color of that right over here. These are once again, these are images. So if you want something different here, then delete that. Come in here and add, I suggest an icon if you just want something really quick. And you could actually just delete that whole element. So, if I wanted to go in here, I could just delete these. And then I can come here and just, well, let me first style this a little bit. So if I went over here, style it, change the primary color to whatever you want. And then you can change the icon to any number of things here, and then you can duplicate this out across here and just kind of drag and drop. So this is the benefit of the drag and drop interface. So it's really easy to replicate things. So this is a counter. So if you wanted to put like years of experience, you could put that in here, and you could put however many years you've been in the business. And then you could put the animation duration, so how long it's going to be until that fills up. So maybe you wanted it to just be really fast, you could just put like 500. And then let's see, you could change the title. So if you didn't want it to be years of experience, you could be like let's see, like budgets created, and then you could be like, I've already made like 123 budgets for people, something like that. And then you'd go over here and you just change the icon to match that. So you'd look for something like maybe like a pencil or something. Be a good one for budgeting. And then you don't have to have this many if you don't want to. You could just come in here and delete a column, and then it would just have 2, or you could delete another column and it would just have 1. Personally, it looks pretty good with 3. If you could think of three number-based things that you could have, that would be the best. Another heading, just change it by pointing and clicking. Button, if you click on it and you come over here, you can change the title, and you can change where it goes to. We've already gone over this a lot, and again, footer won't change, so update that page. Every time you make changes, you have to press update for it to go into effect. If you mess up a lot, like, okay, say I did all this editing and then I'm like, I don't like what I just did. Go over here to the history tab and you can just scroll down to any point which you want. And so if I wanted to go back to the very beginning of this page, watch how it changes. So it can go back all the way to that, and I could just revert it all the way to that and update. Or if I'm like, wait, actually I did like what I was doing, so I could go all the way back and put it to what I had. So any number of things you can do there, really powerful. Okay, I don't care about those changes. All right, then let's go to the coaching tab. Okay, edit with MCS, easy builder. Wait for our page builders to launch. All right, here we are. Again, as you can see, one of them's for mobile, one of them's for desktop. So, and the reason is, in this case, is because, let's see, this, yeah, I'm not sure exactly why I did that. Anyways, just know this is for desktop, this is for mobile. So you can change the title in here. You can change the heading here. This right here is actually a clickable link. So it's supposed to be, if you hover over it, it's going to be a link that's going to go to whatever page you want to have your video. So if you wanted to have a video about you know, kind of your process or something, you just put in that YouTube link here, or maybe you, if you want to, there's other places where you can learn how to get it to act like a pop-up and to actually just appear after they click on that. Let's see. You could edit this real easy. Edit that bar, change the color. All right, here we're getting into some of the coaching packages. So you can change these to whatever you want. You can delete them if you don't want to have them on there. If you don't want any pricing on here, then you can just delete that whole thing, or at least you can delete the pricing if I put it on this. I don't even remember. So you could change the title, the description, and the button. You could change where that button links to. I suggest just linking the button to come down here to the schedule a time. That's a good place to do it, or to a contact form or a lead form or something where you're going to get some information from the prospect. All right, so that's how you change those things here. This is for the mobile site, so that's why I put a border on it, because it makes it look a little cleaner on mobile. It kind of separates them. But if you don't like the border, you can come in here and style and go to the border. This is under the column, and you just you know, just clear it off and put it to none. So pretty simple. You could change the color of this by going to style and changing this background, and it looks like this is actually a man, what is that called? Well, anyways, it's two colors put together. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but you can change the color of that to whatever you want it to be. Man, it's really bothering me that I can't think of what that's called right now. You guys are probably all thinking in your heads, knowing exactly what it is. But anyways, doesn't matter. Let's see. Okay, titles, text, you know how to do that. Okay, here we go. So this is where you can link in your Acuity scheduling page or your Calendly scheduling page or whatever maybe appointment booking software that you're using. If you go to their website and you look for like the sharing section where you can share it, like get your link and stuff, there should be a option to select to get a snippet of code, and it's like, it'll be like HTML code, and it might say like iframe or website code, or I don't know what they'll put it under, but if you copy and paste that, so this can be copied and pasted right off their website. So you just copy it off their website, and then let's delete this whole thing. And then if you want to add it to your website, then you just go in here and you look for the widget that says HTML. So it's right here. So you just drag and drop that puppy right in there. And then you can come over here to the code and actually just paste that in. And you'll see that it will pop up just like it's supposed to. Whatever your calendar page is, it'll come in here. So if it's Calendly, it'll come in Calendly, and it'll be whatever you've set up in your settings. So all of this stuff obviously is going to be controlled, in this case, in Acuity, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be Acuity. Okay, and that's good for that page. So I would update my pages or my changes, and I would go back to the dashboard and frequently asked questions. Here we are. Let's edit this with MCS Easy Builder. All right, so here is where you can change the image. Just click up on the section, come over here and change the background image. You can change the text, you can change the color of the text, anything you want. Okay, here's a new widget that we haven't talked about. This is called an accordion. So all of these are frequently asked questions. I just kind of put them in here, but I didn't put the answers in there. So you'll need to go through these and click on it and come in here and put your answer in there. And then when people come in and view your frequently asked questions, then they could just click on these and go through and see what's what. If you don't want some on them, it's as easy as Xing out. If you want more, you can just add an item. If you want more, instead of, no, that's probably the best way to do it. So just go in there, add an item, and then you can just change the title to what question you want, and then you just change your answer here. Really straightforward. You can change the styling here. So if you didn't want it to be gold, you can change it to whatever color you want it to be. And you can change all sorts of things here. So if you wanted the titles to be green, you could change that in there too. Let's see. So the icon is this plus. So you could change that to be whatever color you want it to be. And you could actually change the icon to be a different color, or to be a different icon. So if you wanted, you know, I don't know why you would want to change these, but if you wanted to, you could change it to the plus square, and then you can have the active icon be minus square or something. I guess that's reasonable, but you can change it to anything. So there you have that. Pretty easy page to edit. Save and exit. And we're on our last page, the Contact Me page. Okay, and we're going to edit with MCS Easy Builder. All right, here we are. So this title can be changed here. The background image, once again, is that entire section. Under Style, change it here. If you ever have trouble with getting your images to look right, like maybe if you have a similar picture of yourself, maybe your face is like ending up over here or something, what you would want to do is come in here where it has position and kind of move it around until you get it to where you want it to be. So you can change it all over the place, and then you kind of have to toy around with it sometimes to get it to work. The other thing you could do is try changing the size. So you might have to change it to like contain, or usually covers the best, but you might have to work with that as well. Let's see, again, you can add the background overlay. If for some reason the color of your text isn't showing up good, then just maybe change the overlay. Especially if you have a different photo. This photo is specifically set to where this side of the image is a little bit darker. So if you have a different photo that's not showing up so good over here, then you might need to go over here into the photo and add some styling in the background overlay section and just put kind of a darker color. And then that'll apply to the whole thing and it'll make it easier to see. All right, so here's the contact form. I'm going to do a separate video for contact forms because they're a little bit more, there's a little bit more details that you need to know to be able to set one up. And so just know that from this part of the website, all your editing really is the styling of it. You're not actually going to be able to change these fields. So from here, you'll select what contact forms you've made, which ones you've created, and then you could select your style. So you could change it to boxes, or you can have it as underlines. The field size, you could change it from small, medium, large. You could change the colors, all sorts of stuff. So the background color, so if you didn't like it, how it shows up on this dark, you can change the background color so that it's lighter inside those fields, if I did that right. You might have to have boxes for that to happen. Let me try that. Yeah, I must be missing something here. Anyways, there should be a way to change that, and if you are trying to and you're not being able to, then reach out to me and I'll help get you through that. Again, you can change the submit button here. So all of this is all tied into the form. So anything in here, all the options will be, if you just click on this edit, all the options will be in there. So if you want to change the color of the button, you can do it there. Okay, then you have this widget over here, which is the Google Map widget. So all you need to do is go in and put your address to your business, or maybe your city, or you can take it off if you don't like it there. But you know, I actually don't live in Seattle. I live on the east side of Washington, and so I put in Kennewick, Washington there, and it should change over. There we go. So it's pretty easy. You can adjust the zoom and everything like that. You can zoom right in on there. Okay, you know how to edit those. Here's again that image thing. So if you don't want that to show up, just go ahead and delete it if you don't like the gold. And then let's see. Here's this bar. You can change the color of it here under style. So you could change it to be whatever color you want. Change the title and the heading there. You know how to do that, and you know how to do it these icons as well. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps it up. So let's go back to the dashboard, and I'll show you what you want to do once you're ready to go live. So navigate back to the dashboard. So once you've made all the changes to your website and you're really happy with it, then you'll need to come over here to the account tab, and technically it will already be live. So if you don't want to go and buy your own domain name, you can just leave it as it is. So it could be mcsdemo.moneycoachsites.com, and people could find it that way. But I recommend that you go and get your own custom domain. So the way to do that is to go to like a domain registrar like GoDaddy or Namecheap. I prefer Namecheap personally. And you just go and buy one there. Once you have one, then to connect it when you're all ready to go, you can go into the settings in your domain registrar, and there's like you'll need to edit your DNS settings. And really the easiest thing to do, I'll have a video available for this as well, but the easiest thing to do is just to go in and ask to have a support agent help you with it. And so if you just go in and do the live chat or whatever, ask them to point an A record to this IP address right here. So just copy and paste that IP address, give them the domain that you have, and say, hey, can you point johndoe.com to this address, this IP address with an A record, just something like that. And then the other thing that you should do is also ask them if they can create a CNAME record as well, which will point over to our domain, which is moneycoachsites.com. So if you ask them to do those two things, then when they said that those have been done, then you come over here and you put in your domain that you've purchased, and then you can just come over here and press set custom domain. And after you do that, it should just in a minute or two pop up that the changes have all gone through. If we have any trouble for any reason, then they might not come up right away. Sometimes DNS changes take a few hours, even up to a day or two to propagate. So don't freak out if it doesn't come up right away. But do let me know when you do this. And also let me know if you have any trouble with it, and I'll help you out with it. But basically, there's a step that I need to perform on my end when you have your custom domain, because do you see how this has the padlock up here and it says HTTPS? That means that this website is fully secure with an SSL certificate, and I will need to go in and install an SSL certificate on your new domain there. So I'll need to know when you do this. So let me know if you do that. And yeah, hope you found this helpful. Hope it helps you set up your website really fast.